Hello, and welcome to episode 3 of Alternate Future of the World. Let's get into it. So, let's take a bit to talk about realism. First episode was actually possible things that might actually happen in the real world recently, like the Ukraine thing, and Syria, and possibly this Chinese alliance thing. Maybe the Cold War sort of thing with India and China is maybe a little bit far extent. Same thing with the Middle East. Second episode, also this thing. Yeah, East African Federation thing, knew that was happening. And Chinese alliance. Same thing with Cuba and a bunch of other stuff. But second episode, it's a little bit less realistic. Like, I have no clue what's happening over here in real life. But I'm just making this happen. And I'm pretty sure this whole Mali thing might possibly happen. Not sure about that. Same thing with Bosnia. And also Austria thing, I'm not sure about that either. And especially the Middle East. Not sure if that would ever happen. And this whole land thing being taken over by other land, I'm not sure that would happen. Might. Yeah. Let's just get into it. So today we are going to be starting in Africa, specifically Western Africa here, where a lot of stuff has been happening recently, and a bunch of unifications have been happening. And some papers are signed, and Sierra Leone joins this unification here. And Nigeria is trying to expand a lot. And they are going to try and get Burkina Faso to join their alliance, but they're not. But in the meantime, the alliance, which is controlled by Algeria, is going to declare war on Ghana. So when all these troops come in from both sides, it's not going to go very well. Because on both sides, but Ghana, I'd say, is a pretty decently strong country, but they do fall eventually because of the might of the new rising Algerian army, which at this point is in the top 10 in the world. As of now. Let's look at a peace treaty. And this is the peace treaty, so they basically get split in half. And also these two will decide to make a unification together. And even better for them, wrong color, they will be joining this alliance. And now it's just Liberia. Who would they join? Oh. Okay. I guess you're not getting Liberia anytime soon. Unless you want to fight the strongest country in the world. Yeah. Now it's time to go to Central Asia because, some country called Russia wants some of their land. So Russia, boldly, is going to declare war on Kazakhstan. And with this, Russia has just declared war on all of these Central Asian countries here. So quickly the Russians will be sending their military into these Kazakh areas and will quickly be able to take out a bunch of the northern half. Because a silent leader that still is alive and has been president since the year 2000 is somehow still alive, and he's doing very well. Yeah, not gonna say his name. I don't want to get political. I'm in the mapping community. Maybe after me, I don't know. Let's just continue. So yeah, these leaders and military generals will be doing very well in Kazakhstan as they make it down to this lake, which has had some conflict in my Wixo series, if you'll look at certain episodes. And also this other lake here, which I'm pretty sure... Wait, is it on the map? Yeah, it's on the Wixo map, and currently controlled by the Purple Country. Why am I talking about Wixo? But in the meantime, all of these countries will not be doing so well against, this thing, until a couple other countries will be joining in on the war to maybe get a bit of land. So yeah, all of these countries will be going in and surrounding the Central Asian areas and will quickly, with all their might, be able to take them out. Let's look at this peace treaty. And this is the peace treaty, so yeah. And currently, as of now, Russia looks like this. Yeah, very big. And the world is going to, not like this. Seeing some semi-familiar borders. Totally not borders from another era called the Cold War. That might possibly be happening again. And, that's something. Oh, about this alliance? Well, if the alliance doesn't have any members, then it doesn't exist. Yeah. Now it's time to talk about nuclear bombs. I'm not going to be using nukes in this series because if any sort of world war made to happen, then, simply, let's simply say, yeah, the world is not looking too well. If any sort of nuclear fallout happens, it'll look something like this, but more water. And probably more green and lava everywhere. So we're not using nukes. So, let's just say the United Nations will get together with everybody, every country in the world, and they will all agree that to denuclearize their countries, get rid of all of their nuclear bombs, and never produce them again. Yeah. And with that treaty, now no country has nukes. Not even Russia, or America, or China. And most importantly, you two, India and Pakistan, you are the most important. Yeah. Now it's time to go back. Nope. To South America, continent that hasn't done much. We're going to Colombia, because Colombia is going to be joining the Square Alliance. Wait, do you think that's... Yeah. Even though a Square Alliance is mainly situated down here, actually, let's do something else. America is going to be making a new alliance, the Hexagon Alliance, and it's for expansion and influence in, the Americas. And this is not in the Square Alliance. This is in the Hexagon Alliance. Yeah. And quickly, some countries might want to join this thing. Nope, not you, Mexico. Just not you. Yeah. Time to talk about NATO now. NATO is having sort of cracks in it. And especially with this, Ukraine was the first major defeat in NATO. And even letting Austria join, yeah, that's something. And NATO's not really doing well, allowing Turkey to expand this much. And Iceland, they haven't done anything in NATO. And the Scandinavian countries, yeah, they have protection, but they still have to worry about the Baltics and Kaliningrad. With Kaliningrad there, yeah, stuff is happening here. More independence referendums. And just having a Serbia here, yeah, I don't think Russia would. Don't think NATO allows that. No, not Russia, NATO. NATO wouldn't allow that. And with the U.S. going imperialist and having 4 alliances across the globe, NATO is having cracks in it. And some countries are going to leave, like Turkey. And then shortly after, Greece. Yeah, no more conflicts will happen in this area. And then, Iceland will leave, as they don't really see too much of a purpose anymore. And those are the first countries to leave. Time to go to the Baltics. Because, and this is not why I'm removing this. I'm actually going to make the star bigger this time of the NATO star thing. Do you know why? Well, if you've been keeping up, especially with my Wixel series, you would know that that means that a union is happening, and the Baltic Union will come to the world. Yeah. And it's still vulnerable to Russia. With these cracks in NATO, Belgium, why are you here? Belgium is going to collapse. Yeah. The capital, Brussels, is just, okay. And Belgium, yeah, get back over here. And when all three of these countries come in here to stabilize Belgium, they kind of are stabilizing this, or at least attempting to. And they will be able to take all this territory. And when... Wait, what? Wrong area. Let's look at the peace treaty. And this is the peace treaty. And when it comes to Luxembourg, Luxembourg's gonna stay there until it's either going to join France or Germany. And it's gonna decide to join up with Germany. Yeah. And this is proving to not be so good for NATO, because the country that has your capital is just gone. Yeah. You let Austria in, even though they swore to be neutral during the Cold War. Yeah. That's NATO for now. Now it's time to go back to the Americas, specifically Mexico, because Mexico is thinking about joining some sort of alliance. But before they can join an alliance, a certain country called America is going to restart the Mexican-American War. Again. Yeah. Now you call it Cuba, because that's part of America at this point. And quickly American troops will be sent down into Texas and Californian areas to cut off the Baja area and across the entirety of this sort of state thing. Troops will be going down through the Baja Peninsula and will be doing less. Yeah. But what happens is, with the whole Mexican cartels thing going on, Mexicans are going into the country. But the police are, and ICE, I think it's called, is doing well at making sure they have ID. Yeah. And now, with Mexico invading, they land in Utah and do a lot of stuff called invading. And they will be threatening Mexico City, which will be causing a lot of troops to go out of the northern front, which will cause this to go into it greatly. This is a long time of fighting, yeah. And when they will surround this area, they will be able to, defeat Mexico. Let's look at a peace treaty. And this is the peace treaty. Yeah, America's become a lot bigger. And now this thing, I'm still going to call it the Gulf of Mexico. But now America has full control over it. Guess it can be called the Gulf of America now, I guess. And guess what? French Guiana just gained independence from France. Yeah, this NATO and EU thing is cracking. And they're trying to get it back. So France, if I can get up here, declares war on French Guiana to get it back. And when the troops arrive, there's not much here because it's new, and yeah, they take it back and try to get the peace treaty. It's called full annexation. Yeah. The map totally looks so different. You can't even tell. Yeah. And you see this whole North-South African thing going on here. Well, there's a reason why these two countries didn't join. And that's because, they didn't want to join. So some countries are going to declare war on them, aka the East African Federation and their giant alliance down south. So quickly all the troops will be flooding into these two countries, Zambia and Malawi, splitting the southern part of Zambia in half, and eventually defeating them. And, let's look at a peace treaty. And this is the peace treaty, and you guessed it. Neither of these countries exist. At least none of them. And guess what time it is now? Nigerian expansion. And this time, nope, wrong color. This time it's Niger. I don't know much about West Africa, especially what's going on there. But I do know these two countries don't like each other. I don't know why. I just know they don't. So, yeah. There's Nigeria, now in the top 10 strongest, very close to top 5. Top 5 being America, Russia, China, India, and... Wait. Who would be top? Who would be fifth? Maybe East Africa. I guess it is Nigeria then. I guess Nigeria is the fifth strongest country in the world. Oh, maybe this country is a little bit stronger, but they're in the top 10. And this thing, Nigeria, is pretty much desert. Yeah. So when they take their areas, their photo areas, the Nigerians will be surrendering to the Nigerians. Yeah, that's confusing, right? Let's look at the peace treaty. And this is the peace treaty, full annexation. And now Nigeria is pressuring some of these countries to unify with them. And one country named Senegal is going to join the Gambian Union, and Burkina Faso with Mali is going to join Nigeria. So far this area is becoming very unified under... Oh wait. What? That's the wrong alliance. It's supposed to be a lightning, not a star. That's NATO's color. Shape. Yeah. And that is going to do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Alternate Future of the World. I sure did. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. See you next episode, and bye!